What's your first reaction when really crappy, bad things happen to you? I'll share my thoughts on that in a second, but first, I'm just gonna say it like I am back at my absolutely favorite place in the whole wide world, my beautiful beach, my home away from home. The sun is shining. I cannot believe it's October and like it's supposed to be 28 or like 25, but feel like 28 today. So like I'm just psyched. So the thing is that when I was a kid, I never felt like I really belonged where I had been born. I was born in Kamloops, and like it was a very small city. There wasn't a lot to do. I was far, far away from the ocean, and like for my dad and I, like we both thrive in the ocean. Like we need to be near the ocean. My dad used to have a nickname, Island Boy. So like every chance that we were able to, when we'd come down to Vancouver, it would be like a vacation for us. Even though at the time, like we had some pretty crappy things happen in our lives, especially around 1997. And like my dad had this dream that one day we would live on either the island or in Vancouver. Like we just wanted to be near the ocean. And I have the same love of the ocean as my dad does. Like in that we are basically kindred spirits. So he longed for the ocean. He wanted to always be down at the ocean. We had that dream. He went back to school when I was 11 years old, all so that he could have a better life for me and my brother and for us to finally get down to the ocean. And then something really, really devastating happened in our lives that actually forced us to relocate. And you know where we ended up having to relocate to? Guess what? It was down here in the Lower Mainland. So I ended up growing up where I had always felt that I belonged. When I was a kid and a preteen, I always knew, it's like I need to live in Vancouver at some point. Like I belong down here. I belong in the Lower Mainland. And then what happened, of course, is that eventually I met my former partner, and he took me away from all that. Like that wasn't his place. Like he was born down here, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't appreciate it the way I do. He doesn't love the ocean the way I do. So whereas I was drawn to the ocean, he's been drawn away from it. So I probably should have known that our life paths weren't going to mesh forever. But he took me away from my ocean, and I just had that longing to come back here. And then what happened is a whole bunch of crappy stuff happened to me with my family and the house fire and everything. And now, look, I'm back at the ocean. So the thoughts that I have is that sometimes your longing and where you belong in the world, sometimes it has to come from something truly devastating. And I've seen this even with people who have like great success. Like maybe someone thinking that they were going to be a star athlete, and then something bad happened and they ended up injuring themselves, and that dream was gone. But then they go into acting, and then it turns out that they're a phenomenal actor, and now they bring joy to people in other ways, and like that path opens up. So when a door closes, another one opens. And I had that longing to get back to the beach, and the way that it happened wasn't exactly expected, but my life is just so beautiful. I mean, look at this. Look at this beautiful view. Like I belong down here. So what is meant for you will come to you. And it might not always come in the way that you expect. Sometimes it's going to come from pain first, and then on the other side is beauty. So when you have something painful happen in your life, it's best, like you'll feel so much better if you take a breath, you process those feelings, but you let go and you recognize that, yeah, this really sucks right now, and there might be something really amazing on the other side. So when life started to fall apart, when my house burned down, I remembered those lessons from my dad and from what I've been through in my life. And it's just like, you know what? on the other side of this might be something really amazing. There might be something really good about this. Being evicted from where I was and not being able to stay where I was forced me to end up relocating to my dad's den for a couple of weeks, and yeah, that was tough. But then we found a nice place that's across the street from my kids' school, and it's still close to my dad, and I can zip down to the beach whenever the heck I want. And that's something that I couldn't have got if I stayed where I was. So don't be afraid of change. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna go enjoy the day. Bye.